Good evening, class of 2018, please be seated. Members of the class of 2018, Mr. Kakanovich, members of the Board of Education, Dr. Hall, members of the faculty, parents, friends, and guests. Good evening and welcome to the 86th commencement ceremony of Brighton High School. My name is Kevin McGowan, and as your superintendent, I am honored to be with you this evening to celebrate this momentous occasion, especially for the graduates, but also for our community and our learning organization. At this time, before we begin the ceremony in earnest, it is my privilege to introduce the special guests on stage this evening. On your left, and beginning from the left in the back row, are Mr. Michael Blake, representing Business, Mrs. Michelle Rumley, representing Technology, Ms. Marla Taplinger, representing Special Education, Mrs. Brenda Munch, representing Math, Ms. Christine Spear, representing Foreign Language, Ms. Tricia Neese, representing English, and Mrs. Amy Malloy, representing Social Studies. On your left and from the left in the front row are Mr. Matthew Tappan, Principal of Council Rock Primary School, Dr. Allison Rio, Principal of French Road Elementary School, Mr. Rob Thomas, Principal of 12 Corners Middle School, Mr. Matthew Como, Assistant Principal of Brighton High School, Mr. Michael Pincelli, Assistant Principal of Brighton High School, Ms. Teresa Mosher, Assistant Principal for Alternative Programs, Mrs. Sarah Jacob, Assistant Principal of Brighton High School, Mr. Arthur Hightower, BHS Class of 1990, and Senior Director of Player Engagement for the Los Angeles Chargers, and your commencement speaker this evening, and Dr. Thomas Hall, Principal of Brighton High School. On your right, and beginning from the right in the back row, are Mrs. Hennessy Lustica, representing Counseling, Mrs. Alpa Kandar, representing Science, Dr. Michael Leaner, Director of Innovative Student Learning, Mrs. Carolyn Rabideau, Director of Student Services, Dr. Deborah Baker, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, Mr. Lou Limo, Assistant Superintendent for Administration, and Mr. Nate Merritt, Director of Health, Physical Education, and Athletics. On your right, and beginning from the right in the front row, are Mrs. Martha Sciarmamano, Member of the Board of Education, Dr. Marv Sachs, Member of the Board of Education, Mrs. Andrea Costanza, Member of the Board of Education, Mrs. Julian Gilbert, Vice President of the Board of Education, and Mr. Mark Kakanovich, President of the Board of Education. Thank you all for being here tonight to represent the many facets of our community as we celebrate the success of our students. Thanks also to the many families, friends, and community members and extended families who are here with us this evening or who will join in the celebrations to follow. We are so grateful for our partnership with all of you. Class of 2018, it is my distinct honor and absolute privilege to welcome you to your commencement. My task is to welcome all of you and all of those gathered here tonight for you. I am set to lay some groundwork, some foundation as it were, share some thoughts, albeit briefly, about what it is that today will be and how we as an educational institution feel about each and every one of you. This is not the first time you've given me the honor of speaking to you as a class or allowing me to be a part of your journey. In fact, I've had a front seat on this trip since your first concerts in 4th grade, your first time on stage for a performance, your first steps onto a field or the court with a Brighton School athletic team uniform on. I even had the chance to encourage you to try everything, take chances, form new friendships, and count on each other and your families when I spoke to many of you at your 5th grade moving up. I thought about pulling that speech out, but that the 5th grade jokes might not be suited for this evening. My advice today is not that far off, though, but perhaps more focused on you as the incredible people that you have become since that time. I mention my ride along with you for 2 reasons. The first is to say thank you. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for letting us in. There is no greater gift than that of being an educator and getting to watch you learn and grow into the amazing people that you are. The second reason I mentioned this firsthand seat is to simply observe as a passenger the growth that you have made and what encourages me about the future. Class of 2018, you have developed discrete skills as readers, writers, researchers, speakers, scientists, mathematicians, problem solvers, and thinkers. However, it is your skills as people, as leaders, and as citizens that will be most important as you help change the world. So at the risk of delivering a message that will be certainly blurred by time, soon a foggy remembrance thanks to the impactful words of the rest of our speakers this evening, and the sheer excitement of today, I will endeavor to leave you today with 3 ideas as we begin commencing the next steps in your lives. They are simple, they are clear, and they are about each one of you. First, you are incredible leaders. You have shown as much throughout high school, but particularly over the last several months. The world desperately needs your leadership. Our country does, especially now. You are leaving high school along with hundreds of thousands of other new leaders who are humbly and passionately ready to lead. Join with them, show us the way, and please lead us. Second, be positive and kind. You are also entering a world in need of that as you lead. There is this relatively new phenomenon of fake news, trolling, influencers, bots, and you name it, we've got it, sources of sarcasm, negativity, and suspect motives. I am completely convinced that your brand of kindness and positivity will be the dominant force in years to come and will be a significant factor in you leading us towards a more perfect union. Finally, keep it real, friends. In a world so dependent on relationships, fostered and developed in the cloud and on social media, you have the chance to push all of us back towards a more authentic, face-to-face, eye-to-eye, and deep personal relationship with each other where we support each other, where we respect each other, and we keep it real for each other. Lead, be positive and kind, and keep it real. It is what you've done already in your high school career. It's what we've seen from you. It's who you are. It's who you will be, and we are so fortunate for that. As for what is about to come, there are certain landmark moments in life that one should desperately try and remember, to embrace, to hold on to. Graduates, this is one of those moments in your lives. Look around you. Remember the people that you are graduating with and those that have come to cheer you on. Take a few snapshots in your mind. Take a breath, cherish the moment. Thank your teachers, thank your families, your friends for their support. Slow down and savor the moment. Help them enjoy it also. You are ready, class of 2018. We are excited to celebrate with you, but to mark the beginning or the commencement, as it were, of your next chapter. This is not the end, but rather a beginning. So finally, as has been said to classes that came before you, but rings so true in your case as well, we are in awe of you, your talents, your spirit. We care for you deeply. We are so excited for what you are about to encounter. You are great. You will be even greater. You have the ability to change the world. You are good to be around, and goodness comes from you. We have been privileged to watch you grow, and we are so happy that our future is in your hands. Welcome to your commencement and your new beginning, class of 2018. Brighton is you, and Brighton believes in you. Thank you. Please rise for the Star-Spangled Banner performed by Canal Town Brass. At this time, graduating senior Isaiah Kelly will present the welcome from the class.
Classmates, parents, esteemed faculty and administration, good evening and congratulations to Brighton's class of 2018. My name is Isaiah Kelly, and I'd like to say thank you to my fellow seniors for this chance to speak, but you'll probably regret it. It would be a mistake not to take a moment to thank the parents and guardians that have supported us throughout these years. 13 years ago, you helped us embark on a long journey. You held our small hands, walking us into our very first classrooms, reminding us to play nice and to not bite anyone's fingers. Reassuring us you'd be back soon to pick us up, we either let go of your hands eagerly, excited to see what was in store, or had to be pried from your legs, crying because of the separation. Tonight marks the end of that journey, the journey that we would only be able to make it through with the gracious support from our friends and family. Now, I was originally going to write this speech with small messages about what the seniors would miss about Brighton High School, but the number one answer I kept receiving was that they'd miss the love and support that they received from other students throughout the high school, with second place being the snack line bagels. So because there was this common theme, I have a quote from the famous actress and philosopher, Kim Kardashian. At the end of the day, life is about being happy, being who you are. And I feel like we are so blessed to have the support system and the best family to just support each other no matter what we're going through. Of course, I realize I probably shouldn't be quoting Kim Kardashian of all people while we celebrate the triumph of our education, but she really nails what I see in this class. We have such a great support system in this school, and when I look around at this beautiful group of students, I don't only see students, I see a family. Despite some friendships drifting or some just being formed, we'll always be there for one another, and we should continue that throughout the rest of our lives. Now, although you could argue what remembering who the 17th president was or the square root of 16x squared is won't help us change the world, you must know that those are only the building blocks to our success. But by the way, the Andrews are Andrew Johnson and 4x. The real way we can change the world is what we've already been doing as a school, which is supporting each other. What we can start with is lifting each other up, whether it be listening to a friend rant or letting them check their homework at 3 in the morning. Being there for someone else through their tough times will make it a lot easier on everyone else. Becoming a graduate of Brighton High School doesn't only mean no more noodle tools, but also the chance of losing contact with some of those incredibly supportive relationships that we have with one another. So as you leave here today, remember to thank those who have helped you on this journey and always appreciate those who have gone out of their way to make sure you were in the right place. Now, to my fellow classmates, congratulations on making it through the last 13 years, but this is only the beginning, the first chapter in your story. And honored guests, take a look around because you too deserve a congratulation. For those graduates are all a product of your love and support through these years. I love and appreciate each and every one of you, and welcome to the graduation ceremony for Brighton's class of 2018.
The Senior String Ensemble will now perform What a Wonderful World by George David and Bob Thiele, arranged by Diego Marani, featuring senior vocal soloist Trinity Wilson.
think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Their graduates have a major role in planning the commencement celebration, and they participate very actively in it. In this tradition, Senior Hannah Newlands will address the class.
Brighton faculty, administrators, community members, friends, and family of the class of 2018. Before I address the awe-inspiring students in front of me, I would just like to say, I am so sorry. I am sorry you had to witness this ambitious crowd develop into adults over these past 18 years. Take it from me, who once looked like this. It hasn't always been easy. Get a good shot of that. I apologize for our extreme addictions to Webkinz World, as I realize being cooped up inside searching for diamonds in the curio shop is likely the reason that it took so long for us to develop our conversational skills. I apologize that you had to deal with us nagging that we were bored all the time and that it was necessary for you to prompt all those sweat-dripping games of Foursquare. During our preteen years, you withstood the perfume bombs as they hit you in the Abercrombie store while shopping for graphic tees. And you had to listen to the sudden voice cracks that the prepubescent males just couldn't avoid. As we matured, you sought us through our horrendous mood swings and abrupt changes in attitude and listened to us complain as we dreaded the thought of completing our homework the night before, even if it was assigned months in advance. Despite our pitfalls, you have remained by our sides, and without you, we would not be in the chairs that we are so lucky to be seated in this evening. On behalf of all graduates, I applaud you and express tremendous gratitude. To Brighton's class of 2018, my incredible peers, congratulations. Remember all those long car and bus rides from when we were kids, when we could just not help but yell, "Are we there yet?" If not, I'm sure most of the adults in the room do. From this point forward, you should no longer feel liable to yell this often annoying phrase to your parents. Your 18-year-long car ride has finally reached its destination. Although it seemed many times like you would run out of gas or hit a fork in the road, the first of many journeys you will complete is now over. Your time as a backseat driver is finished. Your parents must now unbuckle their seatbelts as it is your turn to drive. Your turn to find a new destination. Together, we have spent our days in the Brighton Central School District engaging, learning, and preparing for what our futures will hold. Brighton is like our license. With it, we can go anywhere we'd like. Some of you have chosen to continue your educations at impressive institutions, while others will enter the workforce or join the military. Whichever direction you choose to turn, know that Brighton has taught you the skills to reach that next destination. For those of you unaware, on the last day of school this year, we were able to walk through Council Rock and French Road, Brighton's primary and elementary schools, in our caps and gowns. For the majority of us, those familiar hallways and encouraging teachers prompted an overwhelming sense of nostalgia. To me, the most telling of the faces I was greeted by were those of the children. Despite the few who said, "That's an ugly hat," or "Why do you get out of school before us?" I was incredibly humbled by their uncontrollable grins. It was almost unfathomable to witness the younger generations, those whose positions we were in during a time that felt like just yesterday, in awe of the accomplishments we've been able to attain together. A realization I hope our class is able to pull from this moment was how large a feat this occasion really is. We have spent our entire lives learning to become a driving force in our individual futures. Although we will no longer be able to continue to gain our skills together, I'm so proud of the accomplishments you have been able to make thus far, and I cannot wait to see what each of you people grow into. We are the next generation set in place to care for the kids we encountered at Fres and Council Rock. Our decisions, leadership, and actions will now impact them directly. I hope this is a responsibility that none of you take lightly. Finally, 2018 graduates, I would like to emphasize that each and every one of you possess the characteristics behind what it means to be a Baron, and I hope we will continue to encourage and promote each other's goals and aspirations in the future. Now I'll let Dr. Hall throw you guys the keys to your new cars. Drive safe, but most importantly, never forget this special place that you came from. I know it will never forget you. Thank you.
It is customary for the graduating class to present a gift to Brighton High School. Receiving the gift from the class of 2018 will be Brighton High School Principal, Dr. Thomas Hall. The senior class will be making the presentation.
Good evening, I'm Isaiah Kelly, but you guys already know that. Class of 2018 President, and this is Rena Reed, our Vice President, Hannah Ryan, our Treasurer, Lucia Feckenhauer, our Secretary, Michaela Sizer, our Rep, and Aria Quattrini, our Representative.
Dr. Hall, the Brighton High School class of 2018 wishes to leave the following gifts.
We will be leaving approximately $500 for the incoming freshman class
and donate approximately $400 to Owens House Crisis Nursery of Greater Rochester.
With gratitude and fond memories,
Please accept these gifts.
The senior vocal group will now perform The Open Road by John Levitt. It is now my pleasure and honor to introduce your commencement speaker. Arthur Hightower is the Senior Director of Player Engagement for the Los Angeles Chargers. Arthur assists players off the field and helps prepare them for life after football. He oversees programs in continuing education, life skills, financial and career education, planning, and career internships. He serves on the NFL's Player Development, Continuing Education, Financial Education, and Player Engagement Steering Committees. In 2007, he received the NFL's Winston Shell Award for commitment and dedication to developing unique and innovative ideas and solutions. Arthur spent 3 seasons as Assistant Director of Professional Development at the NCAA headquarters in Indianapolis. He also worked as a student academic counselor at the University of Houston and the University of Maine. Arthur was a free safety at Florida A&M University, where he was named Male Scholar Athlete of the Year during his junior season. He graduated from FAMU magna cum laude with a degree in graphic arts and printing management. Arthur went on to earn a master's degree in physical education with a concentration in sports administration from Florida State University in 1998. He worked as an NCAA National Office intern from 1997 until 1998 in the Education Services Group. Arthur is a 1990 graduate of Brighton High School. He and his wife have 2 daughters and a son. Please welcome Arthur Hightower.
Thank you for the kind introduction. 2018 graduating class of Brighton High School, this is your night. All right, give it up. All right. I would like to thank Superintendent Kevin McGowan, Principal Tom Hall, Assistant Principal Sarah Jacob and her assistant Kim Allen, and the other distinguished guests on the stage for allowing me to be here this evening. Thanks to my wife Teresa and 3 children, Alexandria, Ariel, and Joshua, who are back in California, for listening to me rehearse this speech repeatedly over and over. You only get one chance to be your commencement speaker at your high school as an alumnus, so this is truly an honor. Special thanks to the senior class officers for selecting me as your graduation speaker. It is awesome to be here with the parents, step-parents, grandparents, siblings, family members, and friends to celebrate the achievements of the 276 seniors sitting before us this evening. Graduating class of 2018, your family and friends and supporters have played a big role into where you are today. Make sure you thank them. I would not have the foundation of success without the support of my own parents, Mildred and Arthur Hightower Sr. My mother had the courage and foresight to allow me to relocate with my father for my growth as a young man. She left me in good hands as I picked up 4 surrogate mothers from my best friends. Thank you again to my mom and dad, the Sizers, Clara and Vern, the Henrys, Mary and Clarence, the Wright, Sam and Sandy, and Miss Audrey Davison. They played a huge part. Coach Mike Miller, Coach Bruce, Coach Glazer, Coach Beasley, Coach Hoyt, Coach Gentile, Coach Guerrero, Coach Plummer, Coach Crane, and Coach Richie K, my man Rich Kaplan. Thank you. You helped me develop the passion I have for athletics off the field today. The problem with naming names sometimes is that you may leave someone else, so if I left your name out, please accept my apology now. We had some great memories being a part of those teams. Even though we did not win a sectional championship, those memories run deep. But there are teams that did win a Section 5 championship this year. Congratulations to the girls' track, swimming, tennis, and lacrosse teams that did capture Section 5 championships. Along with the boys' tennis team. You will not forget the year of success through your senior year. But if I can, I want to take you back. This is where it all started. I moved to Brighton in the 8th grade and attended French Road when it was a middle school, the school without no walls, and lived on Warren Avenue. It was different for me moving to Brighton. It was very different racially and culturally. I still remember my first day at lunch at French Road, and I was asked, kosher or non-kosher? Stunned, I said neither and just didn't eat lunch that day. I had no idea what the word kosher meant. I was in for a new experience, as you will be too, leaving high school. As it's been mentioned before, it's something very special about Brighton schools. It isn't the four walls or the structure itself, the challenging academic curriculum that grows you intellectually, or the National Blue Ribbon School Award nominations. But what makes it special is the people inside the four walls. The teachers like Mr. Adam Hiller, who is a graduate of Brighton High School, whose older brother Josh was a teammate of mine as well. The students you share the hallways with from various racial and religious backgrounds, and the surrounding local and greater Rochester community that embraces you. Being a graduate of Brighton is special, so much so that some of your parents and other family members are graduates of Brighton and want you to have the same opportunity to be a Barron. You share a common foundation with the experience of attending Brighton High School and being accepted of something bigger than yourself. There's a foundation of validation and acceptance that allows you to see the similarities that you have instead of the differences. Acceptance doesn't always mean that you agree. Accepting others and some views have required you to open your mind and find the truth in some difficult to understand situations and or conversations. You've been able to stare race, religion, and gender differences in the face and still accept the person in front of you. You have joined together to walk out for the Black Lives Matter movement, as well as the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School shooting in Parkland. Hashtag enough is enough. You have learned to let go of your judgments that could have built walls, big walls, but instead you have been able to focus on the people. You have learned to watch your words and your way of thinking, not allowing words to create separation, but giving them a chance to promote a healthy togetherness. I left Brighton with a healthy togetherness with my closest friends, the Brighton Seven. That's what we coined ourselves. Chris Henry, class of '89, Otha Davidson, William Salmon, Kevin Sizer, Samuel Wright, class of '91, and Roosevelt Grant, class of '92. We have a bond and a brotherhood that was formed from years we spent together in high school. We played on various sports teams and together and performed at a ham jam and routines that we didn't think would embarrassingly reach YouTube years later. I'm not sure what is more embarrassing today. Is it the fact that it only has 573 views, or the fact that 300 are probably from us? As we went our separate ways at the high school and lived in various cities across the country, we never lost touch, even in the days without social media and cell phones. We supported each other during the challenging times in our lives and the good times, as weddings, birth of children, promotion to new jobs, traveling to hear commencement speeches, and also our children's graduations. As you look to your left, which is my right, your right, which is my left, behind or in front of you, you have friends too that will be a part of your life forever. Sure, you will make new friends at Geneseo, St. John Fisher, Nazareth, Brockport, RIT, UB, U of R, Cornell, the Armed Forces, and the other colleges you may attend in the fall, but you will remain close to the friends that you have now, the ones that know you to your core. They have the same foundation as you. I would like to sum up my experience at Brighton with these 5 words, and I'm going to take you through a little story by saying it. Perseverance, respect, outstanding, unique, determination. Perseverance. Our school, by whatever means, has taught you perseverance. This is a part of your character that has been developed here at Brighton. My freshman year was one for the ages. I didn't apply myself academically, and the teams I was participating on didn't apply ourselves athletically either. I got off to a slow start academically, wanting to be the man, and got off to a slower start in athletics by going defeated the entire year. Yes, I said defeated. 0-8 in football, 0-20 in basketball. I wasn't winning academically or athletically. For some odd reason, I was eagerly anticipating my grades that summer. Maybe in the back of my head, I was just wondering if I was going to be promoted. Visiting my grandmother that summer, I called home to ask my dad my grades and was greeted by, "You will do better. Let me speak to your grandmother." After that greeting, I was ready to speak to my grandmother too about extending my stay. Going 0-28 out the gate helped me later in life to handle some of the initial rejections that I received while looking to start my career in athletics. As disheartening as it was, I leaned back to my year as a freshman to know eventually it would get better. This is when the words of my dad rung true again, but in a different way. You will do better. Graduates, there will be times you will have to persevere, but you are built to do it. Respect. I learned to respect myself and the talents I had. I stopped being a slacker by being so cool and reapplying myself. I pulled my grades up tremendously and had the opportunity to play varsity football. I declined that opportunity and played JV. Looking back, I wish I had played varsity because of the challenge, but knowing that varsity was coming off an 0 season as I did my freshman year, I wasn't looking to learn perseverance again. That lesson was learned and there was no need to repeat it. Not only did I respect myself to become the student I knew I was, there was a sense of respect gained athletically as the JV teams I participated on that year put our opponents on notice that we would compete as we did by starting to win. Respect yourselves, graduates. Don't hold back your talents and gifts trying to be someone you are not. I was really a gifted kid that was trying to be hot. Wait a minute, I thought I was in the locker room for a minute. Hot stuff. You have learned to value who you are as a student and a person outside of the classroom. No slacking. Respect yourself and give it your all. You are a baron. Outstanding. Finally made the varsity in both basketball and football my junior year. My grades are on point. Our school was #1 public high school education in America. No more dad speeches except that he is saying, "You're doing better." As you can tell by now, my dad is a guy of few words. But my most outstanding moment in high school was easily when we beat the school on Clinton Avenue, and you know what school I'm talking about, in the first round of the basketball sectionals when they were the defending state champions of New York. In 2 short years, we went from being defeated to defeating. Things were outstanding. We won homecoming before a capacity crowd that had not been seen at our school in years. Graduates, take time to reflect on your own achievements as you leave here. Know what gains you have made and how to recognize them as you achieve more. Don't settle because of a few successes. Keep striving for greatness. You have been prepared for greatness and what it takes to get there and more. Don't become complacent. You are outstanding. Unique. We have a special foundation attending Brighton. It's a tremendous education, but it also has a way of showing you how you're individually unique. As a senior, I was the only African-American male in my graduating class of 252 students. I wasn't the only African-American graduate. There's Temu, Rhonda, Shonda, Rochelle, Ann, Sonia, Claudette, Sydney, Nakia, and Mickey. I just was the only male, and as I found out at my 20-year reunion, the most easily recognized person in the room. This unique gift has been a part of my professional growth, as I was the only African-American male selected as a 1994 Dow Jones print and production intern for the Wall Street Journal, and as a 1997 NCAA intern. It is a gift that continues to give. I've been able to thrive in those situations because I was uniquely prepared for it already. I knew how to be the only one. You know how to be the only one unless there are two of you, like my goddaughters Maya and Michaela, or the Wexler twins, whose mother graduated with me as well. You have gifts that will continue to keep on giving. Determination. Stay determined. Don't use the words, I can't. You achieve your goals by staying the course. I was determined to get to the NFL, as I initially thought as a player, but I ended up with a career far longer than most of the players that I worked with, including some Hall of Famers like LaDainian Tomlinson. I graduated Brighton determined to become a graphic designer and to reach the NFL as a player. I was accepted to Florida A&M University and got a chance to walk on and play Division I football. I earned a scholarship a few years later and became a 2-year starter. I stand before you as a 14-year NFL veteran, but not on the field. Graduates, stay determined. Never waver in pursuing your goal. If you take the first letter of each of the words that I gave you tonight, it spells the word proud. The lessons that you have learned here over the past 4 years will serve you tremendously as you go forth. I'm proud to have my friends, the Brighton 7, but most of all, I'm proud to be a graduate of Brighton High School. Class of 2018, be proud, because what happens next, you're about to become graduates of Brighton. Before I go, I need to do one thing. You don't get this occasion too much. And this is going on my Instagram page. Arthur Hightower, no hyphens, no underscores. Check me out, all right? Check me out, it's selfie time, right? Here's one. Class of 2018, good night and congratulations.
Thank you. At this point in our celebration, we recognize our graduating seniors. There's only one commencement ceremony of the Brighton High School class of 2018. This ceremony is important not only for each member of the class, it is also very important to parents, family members, friends, and the faculty in attendance. It is in this context that we ask the audience to not leave their seats for photographs. We have photographs being taken by professional photographers, and pictures will be available to you. Following the presentation of the diplomas, there will be a recessional. This will signify the culmination of this commencement celebration. We ask that the audience remain in place until the recessional has been completed. Presenting the class of 2018 and presenting diplomas this evening will be Principal Dr. Thomas Hall. Student names will be read by Ms. Laura Byrne and Ms. Sue Wade, 2018 class advisors. Please welcome Dr. Hall.
So just a few words to you from me before we confer these diplomas. Class of 2018 has been a true pleasure and my great fortune to serve you as high school principal for the past 4 years. For most of you, I also had the unique experience of serving as your elementary school principal for 3 years until June 22nd, 2011 at your 5th grade moving up day. As some of you know, Mrs. Hall and I were not fortunate enough to have our own children, although we certainly wanted to add to our family. After several years and much discussion, we decided to spend more quality time with our own families, including nieces and nephews. And we also made a very conscious decision to devote our heart and soul and dedicate our time to the many kids we both work with in Brighton schools. To be a part of your lives for the past 10 years has truly been an honor. When people ask me, how many children do you and Colleen have now? I always say, without missing a beat, 1,134. And then I really make them confused when I say, depending on the year, of course. Just think about that. I was able to witness the precious moments with you in third grade, getting off the buses and entering Fez for your first official day, to riding on the sand patch on the Erie Canal in fourth grade, to falling in the water at Powder Mill Park during the stream study, to doing the coin flip, thank you, Dr. Johnson, at the Sunday Junior Barron football game, to participating in fifth grade family cleanup day. We had the privilege and opportunity to see you grow, mature, and be part of our lives. Then we sent you off to Mr. Thomas. I told you I'd put you in there, Mr. Thomas, where I was blessed, once again, by not having to endure 3 years of middle school and all the wonderful things that take place there. Sorry, Mr. Thomas. I didn't mind skipping those years. Through our last 4 years together, I've learned so much from you and shared some great laughs and special moments. The faculty talent shows and our office skits, sectional title games, the art shows, the instrumental concerts, a cappella and choral concerts, Pitch Black, choir trips to New York City, seeing you smile with the therapy dogs this year, debating the politics of the day with some of you, or discussing school policies, writing your college recommendation letters, enjoying, but certainly enduring, the homecoming dances, and cringing after each twist and turn. Packed gyms during basketball games and smiling at the Barron Hoop Group, watching you deliver your sophomore speeches and recite your poetry out loud poems, going to the publications awards ceremony at Syracuse University, 3 gold awards for our school, and various Model UN and Science Olympiad competitions, trips to Israel and France, and on our Brighton Believes Day, collecting thousands of toiletry products for Owen's House and writing hundreds of Make-A-Wish Foundation letters and birthday cards for kids in the Rochester area. And finally, this spring, witnessing over 600 of you joining together for a peaceful walkout against school violence. Where else? Where else can someone have such a diverse experience? Class of 2018, your energy, enthusiasm, kindness, respectful nature, and creativity on the stage and at the athletic field, the classroom, and on trips make me proud to be at BHS every day and serve you as your high school principal. You help me to love my job, and I'm so lucky to have had the opportunity to interact with all of you. I know many of your teachers and counselors and parents here tonight and your assistant principals feel that way as well. So thank you for that. After tonight, all of you, Brighton High School's class of 2018, are ready to take on the challenges and embrace the opportunities that this world has to offer. Maya Angelou, an American poet, memoirist, and civil rights activist, once said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." I don't think anyone in this audience could disagree with that. Most importantly, graduates, always show the highest level of integrity and respect to yourself and to others, not only in your words, but also through your actions. And don't just say it, live it. I hope that you stay in touch throughout the next several years and keep BHS updated on what you're doing. I'm confident that right here, sitting out there tonight, there are students from the class of 2018 who will be selected to be members of the Brighton High School Hall of Fame. I cannot wait to see what you do in the future. I wish all of you, the high school class of 2018, sincere congratulations on your many years of hard work, best wishes for your future journeys, and class of 2018, remember, your future is just around the corner. So at this time, we will commence with the conferral of diplomas. Class of 2018, I hereby certify that this class of 2018 has completed a course of study prescribed by the Brighton Board of Education and approved by the University of the State of New York. Each member is therefore eligible to receive a diploma from Brighton High School.
Nicholas Lee Fernandez Agason. Matan Abitan. Samuel Kyung Acosta. Sarah Yasmin Anderson. Curtis Arline IV. Rachel Elizabeth Armstrong. Brooke Ann Bioki. Connor Jacob Bartz. William Chance Bell III. Brendan Lowe Bennett. Jasmine Rose Biedenbach. Riley Bray Blasiak. Andrew Sean Benelli. Benjamin McCallie Boris. James William Bradley. Elise Mia Broder. Mitchell Evan Broder. Ellis Daniel Bronstein. Jashanti Brooks. Griffin Lachlan Brown. Jacqueline Ingham Brown. William Clinton Brownell. Jessica Barbara Burgraff. Elizabeth Catherine Burke. Noah James Bushner. Joseph Jason Butcher. Philip Kai. Catherine Francis Callahan. James Patrick Carl. Caroline Brooke Sensak. Sophia Mary Sarankowski. Faith Renee Chalmers. Daun Chang. Sarah Nazir Chaudhry. Maggie Chen. Abigail Rose Chilson. Jared Stephen Christine. David Griffin Clapp. Christopher Michael Klaskins. Kendall Channing Clyburn. Zachary Samuel Cohen. Cameron Khalil Compertor. Daniel Stephen Cook. Richard John Bruce Kuhn. Jacob Thomas Costa. Grace Suzanne Crow. Liam Chenzi Sui. Elizabeth Ann Cumbo. Eli Kieran Flanagan Cummings. George James Cunningham. Madeline Carey Davidson. Christopher Jai Day. Darren Matthew Ledesman de Guzman. Lucas Mascarenhas de Medeiros. Caleb Zoglin DeYoung. Joyce Stang. Aurelia Dawn Deerheck. Marie Ellen DeSimone. Morgan Elizabeth DeVivo. Eric David DeVore. Skylar Ann Dickinson. Lucas Christopher Dorsey. Keegan Thomas Drago Leaf. Jason William Duffy. Kevin Campbell Dugan. Jillian Pearl Engel. Miracle Mahara Everett. Kenneth Fan. Addison Omri Farrell. Connor Lee Fauché.
Ezra Daniel Feldman. Jose A. Fernandez. Lucia Marie Feckenhauer. Carmela Marie Folan. Isai Eugenio Fouché Rivera. Celia DeVries Fox. Gabriel Arthur Franklin. Emma Marie Genzel. Renee Hala Gangarosa. Danielle Janice Garrett. Aiden Augustine Gleason. Leah Georgia Goldberg. Sophie Louise Goldstein. Kieran Mazio Graves. Lucas Maxwell Graves. Caleb Alexander Green. Cooper Daniel Gregory. Dennis Lee Greiner Jr. Tai Takashima Gross. Maximilian John Galacci. Zenny Ganga Gustafson. Xander Guzman. Elise Hallgren. Emma Alexandra Hamas. Martin Robert Hanrahan. Felipe Joaquin Henuch. Ruby Jean Hardy. Samuel Broderick Hauser. Demira Danielle Henry. Nathan Harris Hirschberg. Dylan Gregory Holcomb. Christine Cunningham Horaho. Zaheen Tasnia Hossein. Christopher Scott Householder. Shirley Huang. Imani Mary Hudson. Julie Ann Erlbacher. Rakeen Islam. Christopher Robert Jekyll. Catherine Blythe Jacobowski. Jordan Paige James. Jack Michael Johnson. Pierce Lowe Jordan. Annie Elizabeth Case. Isaiah Michael Kelly. Markiana Lily Pearl Kelly. David Alexander Kirsch. Alyssa Marie King. Fedor Semyonovich Kyriakidi. Dina Afraz Kohanbani. Madeline Elizabeth Cohn. Chloe Paige Komorowski. Caroline Rose Korn. Carver James Kozlowski. Brandon Richard LaFountain. Cassidy Ray Lawrence. Jenna Lee. Alexandra Grace Leary. Caroline Paige Liederman. Naomi Beth Levitsky. Leon Lee.
Hi, guys.
Jason Robert Lowwater. Hannah Maluhia Macias. Lucy Guinevere McKenzie. Abigail Virginia Madison. Namira Malik. Raymond Walter Melanowski. Charles Anthony Marcello. Jeremy Ethan Marcus.
Ryan Robert Martin. Athanasios John Marzin. Alec Ray Matusek. Brady Thomas McDermott. Francesca Concetta McDonald. Shay William Burton McDonald. Nazir Lavar McFadden. Haley Lorraine McGowan. William Robert McGraw. Mackenzie Lynn McMahon. Casey Ann McManus. Erin Elizabeth McManus. Clarissa Grace McNeil. Jordan Hannah Meeker. Alana Miller. Linus Ford Minerva. Aryan Najimzada. Ishai Raphael Nardia. Ariana Marie Massetti Neary. Cassidy Margaret Nelson. David Jacob Nemi. Hannah Grace Newlands. Jasper Keith Newman. Maxim James Nima. Mohammed Elias Omar. Eliana Leticia Ataneveros Oberg. Gianna Marie Palma. Aisha Panero Amroska. Sushmita Pramod Patil. Tara Sage Peter. Samuel Noah Phillips. Diego Pina. Edward William Podosek. Isabella Caroline Ponticello. Aria Lynn Quattrini. Leela Rich Rajiv. Ariana Maria Carpuz Ravago. Rena Selena Reed. Stephen Jack Richards. Maxwell Kenneth Robbins. David Javier Rodriguez. Hannah Gail Rosenberg. Leah Kate Rosenhack. Joshua Daniel Rothbaum. Hannah Shira Ryan. Mitchell Saki. Benjamin Sadik. Ryan Thomas Salvato. Peter Joseph Schaefer. Mark Russell Schermerhorn. Tobias Charles Barrett Schley. Brendan Donovan Schmidt. Keith Scott Jr. Juan Siggy. Maxwell Jerome Seraphine. Madeline Marie Severance. Sagar Sharma.
Noah David Shinneman. Arman Hafez Shojay. Olga Shvetsova. Jameson Patrick Sillick. Bria Nicole Silva. Evan Joel Silver. Gavin Isaiah Simon. Kyrie Megan Mackenzie Rosen Simpson. Suveta Sivakumar. Michaela Shalee Sizer. Maya Simone Sizer. Sarah McKenna Skivington. Josiah Bernard Smith. Catherine Ann Smolensky. Jacob Adam Snyderman. Erica Elizabeth Sobel. Jimin Sun. Noah Leor Spivak. Taylor Ann Stolberg. Sienna Ida Storzinski. Alexa Ray Satera. Emma Rosepie Tabin. Aditya Srivatsav Tangarala. Nicholas David Peeler Templeton. Alexander Tien. Liam Yen Tiet. Leah Sophie Tilson. Gilberto Lee Torres. Mai Lee Tran. Leonid Sepenyuk. Whitney G. Tucker. Catherine Elise Terrell. Joseph Michael Valenti. Jonathan Adam Vaseman. Matthew Edward Veazey. Audrey Louise Vinton. Gemma Marie Vodacek. Rachel Madison Wager. Erin Elizabeth Watson. Jillian Rebecca Webster. Abraham Benjamin Wexler. Ariella Rebecca Wexler. Daniel James White. Evelyn Wilcox. Charles A. Williams. Juliana Rose Williams. Thomas Levi Williams. Trinity Catherine Wilson. Madeline Dolores Winter. Alexander David Winterberger. Finian Drew Wood. Brinley May Warden. Yujia Yang. Abdul Rahman Muhammad Yorek. Oscar Lauren Young. Yusuf Moheb Yusuf. Yufan Zhao. Andrew Sean Zebuk. Abigail Grace Zielinski. Gary Michael Zilberglate.